What does history say about the followers of Jesus? Well, we looked yesterday at what Cornelius Tacitus had to say about the Great Fire of Rome. Also, Suetonius wrote about it, and he said the Great Fire of Rome is also, I'm reading to you from a book by F.F. Bruce, the Great Fire of Rome is also mentioned by Suetonius, who about 120 A.D. wrote the lives of the first 12 Caesars from Julius Caesar onwards. Punishment was inflicted on the Christians, a class of men addicted to a novel and mischievous superstition. Then we want to read part of a letter from Pliny the Younger. In A.D. 112, Plinius Secundus, governor of Bithynia in Asia, wrote a letter to the Emperor Trajan asking his advice on how to deal with the troublesome sect of Christians who were embarrassingly numerous in his province. According to evidence he had secured by examining them, some of them under torture. He writes, "They were in the habit of meeting on a certain fixed day before it was light, when they sang an anthem to Christ as God, and bound themselves by a solemn oath not to commit any wicked deed, but to abstain from all fraud, theft, and adultery, never to break their word or deny a trust when called upon to honor it. After which it was their custom to separate, and then to meet again to partake food, but food of an ordinary and innocent kind." Now, here we have these two accounts talking about Christians in the early first century. Now, I want you to think about this. How reasonable is it to assume that by this time this mythological cult had begun to spread around the world, and that people were really willing to die for a myth? That people were willing to undergo torture for a story that had just been invented in the minds of a few people? Folks, it goes beyond the bounds of reason. And reason is part of the standard for evidence. We have to ask ourselves, would a reasonable person do that? The fact of the matter is, if there were Christians, there had to be a Christ. Now, that's not the only evidence we have, but it is strong evidence that there must have been a founder for this group that bore his name. Join us again tomorrow for your Daily 180.